So now, my question is about the rhythm. In neuroscience, we often just talk about how the brain and how the physiology responds to rhythm. Many times we forget, or maybe we put less emphasis on the cultural aspect of it and from a musical aspect of it. What does rhythm do, and how do you feel about rhythm in those contexts?
Culturally, right?
Culturally being the main point.
Well, it's absolutely fundamental in my experience about studying rhythms from different cultures. Rhythm is the core for celebrations in community, and rhythm is what facilitates movement and dance in the ceremonies. So I learned a lot by being in Senegal as a drummer, but as a drummer I never drum, I just dance all the time. And what I realized is that rhythm puts things in movement, generates movement. So if we understand this, culturally is okay, dance and celebrations, but also if we understand this in many, many different ways, if rhythm generates movement, generates energy, and generates dynamism and facilitates changes. So it's absolutely relevant that to get back to the community and the wisdom of traditions to recoup that sense of rhythm as a value for the community, to celebrate, to dance, to get really big cohesion and a lot of strength. So then we can really go over the challenges of life, as we are now doing in inTime. We are providing a rhythm program to really facilitate and to really face the different challenges of our lives, but it's really recouping this wisdom of traditions about the value of rhythm in culture, and then sound and frequency for the brain.
Yes. And perhaps throughout different cultures, throughout history, these beats, these rhythms developed maybe intuitively, maybe by trial and error, but there is a reason why a rhythm is used for one kind of ceremony or one kind of context versus another one.
Oh yeah. I mean, different rhythms generate different movements, right? Mm-hmm. So which is the movement that we want. We're gonna share with you some samples tonight about why we choose different rhythms to generate what.
Right.
Exactly.
Great. And of course, from a neuroscience perspective, we're interested to know what happens in the brain, what happens in the physiology when you are exposed to different types of rhythm. And of course, to make it even more complex, then you have the person actually playing who's involved in much more complex process. It's not just listening, it's also producing and body movement, etc. So it's a very interesting topic that I'm sure for years and decades to come we're going to hear about.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important and also to recoup the value of traditions, and that's what we're doing here, and recoup all these amazing cultural references around the world. I always said that every culture has a particular beat that really differentiates that country as the heartbeat of that culture. And also I always said as that through that beat we can breathe. And breathe is the melody. But also I believe that we can find a common beat, like a common heart and a common breath underneath, so we can all join together, and that is the common pulse, that is a common root that we can always join, and is the pulse that we all share.